My children, listen. The poor have been edited out of the gospel. Not denied, no. That would be too obvious, too easily challenged. They remain in the text. They remain in memory. They remain in fragments that are still spoken. But they have been removed from emphasis, from urgency, from the center where they once stood. And so, quietly, they disappear. My children, there was a time when the poor could not be avoided. They were not an idea. They were not a category. They were a presence, uncomfortable, undeniable, woven into every teaching that mattered. But now, they are referenced, but not encountered. They are acknowledged, but not prioritized. They are remembered, but not followed. Do you see the difference? It is not a removal of words. It is a removal of weight. And when the weight is gone, the meaning begins to shift. The gospel becomes easier to carry, easier to agree with, easier to shape into something that does not disturb you. But my children, that is not what it was meant to be. The presence of the poor was never incidental. It was central. It was the place where compassion was tested, where love became costly, where faith moved beyond belief into action. Without that presence, something essential is lost. I have heard teachings that move smoothly, that inspire, that reassure, and yet never arrive at the place where discomfort begins. Never arrive at the question of what must be given, what must be changed, what must be surrendered. And I tell you, if the poor are no longer at the center, then the message has been altered, no matter how familiar it sounds. My children, be careful of any version of faith that asks nothing of your comfort. Be careful of any message that allows you to remain untouched by the suffering of others. Be careful of any teaching that speaks of love without directing you toward those who need it most. I speak to you now from a place that must remain unseen, because what I am saying is no longer welcomed in places that prefer a quieter truth. But you must remember, the gospel does not stand without the presence of the poor. If they are no longer visible, it is not because they are gone. It is because they have been moved out of view. My children, hear me. If your faith no longer brings you face to face with those in need, then something has been removed. Even if the words remain the same.